Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 1.23 release team meeting. Today is Wednesday, December 1st. It is week 15 of the release cycle. I'm your host. My name is Ray Lejano. I am the release lead. I'm going to start sharing my screen here. All right, that should be shared. As usual, please sign in to the meeting notes if you can. And this meeting does abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, which boils down to be nice and be excellent to each other. And this meeting is also recorded to YouTube, so please be mindful of that. As usual, we'll start off with open discussion. There has been a request from Signode and invited Sergey here to join the release team meeting to give us an update on this request. So I'll hand it off to Sergey.
Thank you. So in 1.23, we introduced a new feature. It's gRPC liveness probes, and this feature is currently in alpha. It's all went reasonably okay. Feature is working. We have documentation in place, and it's all released. The problem that we discovered recently is that names of fields are inconsistent, and we'd like to change this inconsistency before the 1.23 release, so it wouldn't stuck forever in eternity, this inconsistency. Field names are extremely hard to change, and it's very straightforward fix to make. So we propose to change it before 1.23 release and save some headache for people going forward forever.
All right. And open the GitHub issue here. There is a Slack thread that's also linked as well. I saw some feedback from the API reviews. Jordan said to open up the issue and to milestone it for 123. So in terms of this release, I understand that it is for an alpha feature, and let's go back to the Slack thread here. Oops, make sure I already have it. And that these fields have to be changed before 123 is actually released. Is that correct?
Yeah, so if you scroll a little bit up, there is I just want to demonstrate what it is. So you see this line, and there is a gRPC with one spelling and gRPC with other spelling, and like for JSON is one, and for Proto is different. So we just want to unify those and make it consistent. And right. Change will be this line of code and bunch of generated files. So very straightforward.
All right. Questions going through Slack thread here from that I posted on the channel. Did get some feedback from folks in Signode and API reviews as well, agreeing to make the change before 123 is cut. Yeah, I understand this could be more of a, I guess, kind of blocking, because we do like to accept blocking or only changes to the release. And I could see from a point that it could be blocking in terms of this feature. Any other feedback from others on the release team?
This be something that we would patch after?
Unfortunately not. Once people start using it, it's like once it's released, it's impossible to change field names. Yeah, it's stuck for eternity. Okay.
With that in mind, I know how important that is for this feature. I am leaning towards to milestone to 123. Just want to gather some other feedbacks. We went to make your pull request. You do have to cherry pick it in to the 123 branch. Any other comments or questions?
If it's helpful at +1, I agree, Ray.
Right, thank you.
I would lean toward, yep.
Yeah, I understand how hard it would be. So I'll milestone it after this meeting, and I'll reply on the Slack channel. But I want to thank you very much for bringing this up on today's meeting.
Yeah, and thank you for being receptive for this. I understand it's disruption, very last day of release.
That's all right. Thank you very much. I'm glad it was caught before it was cut. Otherwise, I understand it'll be very, very difficult to get it refactored in the future. So, all right. last call for questions or comments for this request.
I have one just quickly for Sergey. So Sergey, if the field name is changed, can we expect any ramifications on tests or other signal coming out of that part of the code?
So tests are running using the programmatic model. So you basically construct core objects. That's why you don't see, like we didn't see this weirdness and casing when we've been writing end-to-end tests. So tests should be fine. Also, we have fuzzing tests, and fuzzing tests are all generated files. So PR will include all the generated files update. In terms of anybody using it already, nobody can be using. I will send update to docs as well. So docs will be updated to reflect this change. So yeah, should be. I mean, change is not dangerous. It's just timing of it is unfortunate.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, second last call for questions or comments. All right, next one, I'm talking about flex volume deprecation. I'm going to go back to this once we want to go to my section about the leads updates, because it does touch on release notes and also with the release blog as well. So I'll talk about this later on. So we could continue on with the team updates. So starting off with enhancements.
Hi, yes, this is Laura, Enhancement Shadow. Xander can't make it today. Just chilling, same metrics as before. Enhancements team is just done with our stuff. So yeah, that's it, no update.
All right. Do you have a question for enhancements? I'll ask it in my, I'll tie in with the release blog. So I'll ask it in my updates.
Cool.
All right, next is CI signal with Rajula.
Hi, I'm filling in for CI signal today. So we're still yellow. In master blocking, we have a couple of 2 less failing tests compared to yesterday, 2 less flaky tests. So in master informing, one of the tests went from failing to flaky. There's other tests still failing, which we are still tracking. In 1.23 master blocking, we have 3 flaky. There was one that moved from failing to flaky, so no failing as of now. And for 1.23 master informing, which is still have 1 failing and 4 flaky.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, thank you. I saw that the failing job in master informing, it hasn't been triaged yet with SIG storage. So how do we stand to get this triage, or can we before the release cuts next Tuesday?
It was created this week. I think we can follow up it again. The status is flaky. It might fail again this week. So,
all right, thank you. All right, ideally we'd like to get I know it's not under master blocking, but it's still under the release master informing for this failing job. All right, thank you. All right, any comments or questions for CI signal? All right, next is bug triage with Ritu.
Yeah, so the status for Bhaktraj this week is yellow, and the blocking issue is the Kate's publishing bot is broken, or like this is a blocking issue for us, and it was tested 3 hours before as well, and it was still breaking. And we have 0 blocking PRs, but we have 3 critical urgent issues. So for the Kate's Go modules not tagged, it said, like the update said that when the config is pushed, the rules will be updated and it will be tagged automatically. And for the bump HCD client, have asked for the status, like when it will be triage is accepted, but the code is not merged. And Kate's release, this is the same. Bot is broken. And for the other critical urgent PRs, we have 2 cherry picks. Both of them are, it has the LGTM. They are trying to merge it, but the merge is failing. So it's currently being, it's currently in the radar.
All right. For the publishing bot, I replied on the Bhaktraj channel about the thread that's going on with the release management about the publishing bot. Looks like it is missing a commit that might have caused some issues, and I think that was similar issues with missing tags, but I don't know if it's same issues with the Go modules missing, not getting tagged at all. And as far as the etcd client, I thought the code did merge for etcd 351, but it needed. There was a question about if this is for 124, but I did see a PR merge. Was that not for 351, or was that for the bump?
Yeah.
One bump of etcd I did before, like some time ago, but it was for server, for image, not for client.
Not for the client. Okay.
It may be what you remember, but
Yeah, I think that's what I do remember. I do remember there was a bump for 351. I tried looking if there's any other open KKPRs or any other open PRs with any etcd bumps. I did not find any. So I know there's been a few comments, and I know Neolit's on vacation till December 6th. So, so we might have to go to the SIG and see if anyone can reply with about this issue, because I don't think we're going to get a response until after December 6th, which is the release date anyway. So I'll ping the SIG about this.
Okay.
All right, and publishing bots. I think I know that is being worked on from the SIG release meeting. Okay, is there any pull requests and clients?
The last one had 3 hours before updated one.
How long has it been? 3 years.
3 hours.
Oh, wait.
3 hours.
3 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
And just so to let everyone know, it's probably we're gonna do some updates to the release process regarding that one. I still have to go through the discussion thread that they have going on, because it's been going on for days, and I'm not yet familiarized with everything that's going on, but they are suggesting we do some changes to the way we merge the final PRs of the final commits that get generated during the release process to merge the change logs, for example. The participants in the thread are suggesting that we make some changes. I'm not yet sure what we're going to be modifying, but probably I will do some work over there before the release is out.
Is it release blocking if the publishing bot still?
Let me update that tomorrow, or maybe offline when I know, because I'm not yet familiar with the whole problem, so I have to yet jump into it.
All right, and I think this is similar. New releases are not tagged. This is similar as well to the publishing, to a missing commit that wasn't tagging the releases, and we saw this in beta and RC, right?
Yeah, I think it's the same problem, I think.
Yeah. All right, same issue. Okay. So those are hopefully the updated release process, and we'll be able to bypass these issues. All right.
Sure.
Thank you, Ritu. Thank you,
Thank
Adolfo.
you. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Adolfo.
And we'll take a look into these two cherry picks. They're having some merge issues. Okay, so this might need a release branch manager to approve. I saw a.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah, this is the possible fast forward.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And this might be the same. I think this is just update everyone. I did put in the retro topic, fast forwards versus cherry picks. The process still stands that we are still requesting PR authors to do cherry picks to the release 120 branch when it has been cut and was cut on during test phase or in the same day as test phase. So, all right, so those just were on hold in place in case there was a fast forward, but there is not a fast forward. So, all right, I'll bring that up to release managers to take a look, and we could get those reviewed. All right, any comments or questions for bug triage? All right, moving on to docs with Jesse.
Hello. Yeah, we're in pretty good shape. We didn't quite make it. We have 3 that are still in review. Really, 2 of those are nits, and they should land any minute now. 2702 still needs a tech review. We've pinged a couple of different SIGs at this point, pinged people on Slack. So if anybody wants to make noise about that, that's the last one that I'm a little bit concerned about. We have a handful of untracked non-enhancements related PRs against Dev 123 that also look fine. Pretty simple. So we are yellow tracking green. We realize that Friday is really the last day we want to integrate anything, and I'd like to avoid having to come back post release. So I hope we're doing all right. Integration branch is healthy. I opened a latest PR and landed it right in your lap, Ray, as is our tradition. We still have some of those easy CLA nits. Didn't see any other failed tests, so should be a simple one. So we're looking good for whenever we have to merge build and cut the release. We're looking good there. We have added a couple of enhancements. I think we talked about that a little bit. Like we were tracking one of the CSI migration enhancements as one, but as 2 in some places, but there are actually 3. So Xander and I got together. Xander fixed that up yesterday. So that's why, if anybody's noticed, we're tracking a different number of enhancements. But we're in good shape. There's still just the 3 that are out. We expect that to be 1 very soon, and hopefully 0 by the end of today.
Thank you. Great work on that. Excellent progress on that. I know that last tech review is always hard to get. And those nits, they look like they're going to go through. If not, what I've done in the past is just merged it and create a follow PR to fix those nits. I think Tim has one right now open.
He does. There's actually 3.
Okay.
But, I figure these 2. I mean, if we don't get them done today, then yeah, I'll just follow up with the nits myself. But
yeah, cool. Thank you, Jesse. Any comments or questions for docs? All right, next up is release notes with Cece.
Yeah, so release notes current status is green. Just merge the PR for updating the Real Notes website, and the PR for adding major themes is ready to be merged. I currently put a hold there, just in case anyone else want to take a look. And thanks, Ray, for the contribution to this PR. And I think I will cancel the hold like later today. If nobody has other opinions, then it will be merged.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just changed the order for the major themes, like how we follow the pattern for the deprecations, which I have I have a topic to talk about this as well, and unrelated enhancements, but part of the announcements for Kubernetes. So that's also level 1 compliant, and then things in GA, things in beta. The thing I want to bring up is we typically don't do things in alpha for major themes since they're newly introduced, unless it's like something that is something new, like the PSP replacement, the pod security mesh controller. That is something we typically have done. And now there's 2 major themes that's slated for alpha that's been opted in. Do we keep this in the major themes, or do we in the release notes, and do we keep this in the major themes in the release blog? That is one of the questions I had. I'm just trying to see what others thought of keeping these 2 alpha features as a major theme.
3 alpha, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm not sure if Open API v3.
Yeah, Open API, yeah, v3.
Yeah, there's 3 with alpha.
Yeah. Yeah, so just what do people think on keeping these as major themes? And I know Open API v3, my personal opinion can be there's alpha, but it is really a major theme. Just want to get people's thoughts and comments.
To me, I think it would be worth breaking that precedent if you had 2 or more alpha features coming in that told a story, that talked about a narrative move, something functional, something newly redesigned, a new set of features, a new type of functionality. I think these 3 are fairly decoupled. So it just seems like we're adding alphas where we haven't done that in the past. So I'd probably lean toward not doing that just based on precedent, but I'm not super passionate.
All right. Anyone else?
I kind of feel like the release blog is a place where you could put these things, because you do want to bring attention to things that you want to get end users to test and to kind of get the benefits of being an alpha. And I always kind of felt like that release blog is where you can kind of put some of these loose things in, versus release notes I always felt was a little bit more concise and on point. So just my own 2 cents.
It's good feedback. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Personally, I agree with Joseph. I like what you said, and both Joseph and Jesse, about since these are all 3 kind of decoupled, might just take these out of the major themes and put them in the release blog for major themes, and keep the release notes concise. All right, I'll make a change. I'll push a commit to your branch, CC.
Yeah, I can remove that.
Okay, thank you.
No worry. Yeah, thank you.
All right, any other comments or questions for release notes?
I suggest if that gets squashed and deleted or whatever, like, I don't know if it'll be elsewhere in the doc, but you might want to just cut and paste that and give it to comms. If you want,
I already have
the
it.
blog, there's
Cool.
All right,
Already,
I figured there'd be some trace of it somewhere, but yeah. All right, cool.
Yep, already got it. And I updated this a little bit ago. All right, it's a good segue to comms with Karen.
Hey, so we are agreeing. We still need to kind of decide on the release name for 1.23. So I will ping you after the call. And then I'm going to finish wrapping up the intro paragraph. But once we have these things, we can submit the PR and then just final reviews for future blogs. Sorry, it's really loud where I am. And then I'm going to follow up with CNCF to see if they need anything else for the release. Sorry.
All right, no worries. Karen, I do owe you some updates on the release blog, so I'll finish that up this afternoon. I'll do some more minor tweaks on the major themes. I think that should actually be done. All right, any other comments or questions for Karen? All right, next up is release branch management with Veronica.
Hello, so we're yellow, following CI signal. And as a follow-up for the topic on cherry picks versus fast forwarding, yeah, we decided to stay with cherry picks for this release, and we're sending an email as soon as this meeting is over. Probably Navarun is taking care of it, but if not, I will. Okay. And yeah, I think that's it from us today.
All right, and that's thank you very much. Now we get to send another communication about cherry picks, and we do have that as a retro item as well. Fast forwards versus cherry picks, talk about what we'll do in the future. All right, any other comments or questions for Veronica or release branch management? All right, next up is the Emeritus Lead, Jeremy.
Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Sorry I haven't been around for the last couple of meetings. Have some things going on at home. Important thing at this point is really to start thinking, well, not start thinking, but to start moving forward with who is going to take over your role in 124. As we often do or always do, we're going to open a GitHub issue later this week sometime, maybe today, to start assembling the 124 team, and then we'll nominate people to take over your role there. So if you don't have anybody in mind yet, definitely talk to your shadows, reach out to me, reach out to Ray, and we can have a chat about that. Have heard from one person so far, so thank you to the person that has reached out. That's super awesome. But this is, I think, a fun part of the release, and we're at the end, and like all the stressful things are over, so you can celebrate the beginning of 124. The release is over, the release begins. That cycle is always fun. We're going to go into like a period where a lot of people are gone, and then 124 is going to start in the early part of January. So it's kind of important for us to get this out of the way, so then we can start picking shadows and stuff as well. And Joseph said, sign up for Contributor Summit. Definitely do that too.
Cool. Thank you, Jeremy. Any comments or questions? All right. My updates, I have several updates. Going back to the teams. One was the failing job on SIG release master forming. There is an issue created for that. So I want to bring that up. There's an open PR to KK to fix one of the tests, GCCOS master serial on master informing. Since it's informing, it's not a blocking test. But it is fixing a test, and we are in test freeze, and we do allow exceptions to fix failing tests, but this is actually a flaky test. So I'm thinking about holding off and letting this merge to KK master during the test freeze currently, since it is currently flaky. Any thoughts or questions about this? If it does go to failing, then then that opens up. That's another option to fix it, or definitely the option to fix it. So right now it's currently a flaky. So
we can follow this up as a priority. So yeah, thanks.
Thank you. All right. After that, I do have some questions. We talked about alpha features for the release notes release blog, flex volume deprecation. So it's one of the major themes that was opted in. Technically, flex volumes was actually deprecated in November 2020. I had to go through some Git history and confirmed with the SIG storage chair about that, but it was never communicated. It's communicated now. It's going to be, it's part of the major theme of 123, even though it wasn't really part of 123. It's currently as a major theme, even though it was actually done in 2020. Just wanted to see should we add a little line item says like this was actually deprecated in 2020, but not really. But I feel like that might confuse folks.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's also a KE website PR, and that's that updates everything about flex volume that's saying that's been deprecated in 123. Do we leave it as is, or the PR is still open, but do we leave it as flex volume is deprecated in 123, or do we say it was actually deprecated in 2020, whatever the release was in 2020? This might add some confusion to the community. Just trying to get other people's thoughts on this.
That was my first thought. It was confusing. So I think in things like this, I think about value to the community. Like, what's the value of saying, actually, this was deprecated in 2020? I mean, maybe
right.
Someone will go look and be like, actually, this has been deprecated since 2020, and we could respond to that.
Yeah.
But writing up a paragraph that explains how we missed it and now we're deprecating it is,
yeah,
I don't think there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah, I agree. Good, really good points. So we'll keep it as is.
That's my question is it going to be removed then 3 releases later?
So I asked that for SIG storage. They said there's no plans currently.
Okay. Right.
And there's no plans to move it. Yeah.
So it's not going to be removed in like 125 or 4.
From my from a conversation with Six Storage Chair, yes, right now there's no plan. So
Okay,
I'm not saying
that would be that would be the one concern. I was like, well,
Yes.
we deprecated this
Yeah.
in 2020, but we only talked about it in one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I absolutely agree. So it
Seems
took a
right.
little investigations like when that was actually happened, and yeah, so there are no plans to make any further changes currently. So there's another enhancement I'll talk about as well. That's on in terms of so cron jobs we tracked, and it actually went to stable in a previous release. There was refactor, there's the V2 controller that went to stable. The reason why we tracked it for 123 is that we removed the old controller, or it's the old controller is being removed. So I know we tracked it for enhancements. I feel like this might be confusing in the release blog as well. So I was leaning towards not having cron jobs or feeling listed under features going to stable. And people might be confused, like cron jobs has been stable for a little bit. So I might leave it off the release blog. Just want to get other people's feedback on that.
All right, I feel like I'm the only other one talking, so I'm just going to do it again. We had confusion in the 122 release blog when we mentioned cron jobs when they were already mentioned in 121, and everybody was like, but these have been around forever. So I agree. I think maybe it doesn't need to be included. I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess I might talk. I don't know what do people think? Are people expecting it to be there? Like, are we missing something if we don't have it?
You just won't be affected by it because it's been swapped over to the V2 controller already for a
Right.
few releases.
Right.
You're just removing old code that's not in use. So
it's pretty transparent.
Yeah.
And it's not anything people are going to rush out, and there's no action item.
Yeah. No action item.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So that's other than that, any comments, questions about cron jobs, and before I go to upcoming dates. All right. Tomorrow is a release notes completes deadline. That's well underway. Just to make a change in the major themes that we mentioned about the alpha features. On Friday, I'm going to start a go no go thread on the SIG release Slack channel, and we'll continue that on Monday and Tuesday as well. Tuesday is release day, so we'll do a final go no go branch. If everything is great, branch managers will cut the 123 release. Then we'll do all the whole release dance on the last day. There's a lot going on with the K websites. The docs are being published, or the dev 123 branch is merged to main. The release blog is published, then email or communications are sent out to everyone in the community. Then code thaw, KK is open again for 124. Any comments or questions for that? All right, that's it for me. Lastly, I pinged Jacob with SIG scalability. I haven't had a reply about the scalability test, so I'll ping him again. Just want to get those tests taken care of, or get a status for those tests. So right now I'm going to stop my share.